Hello, this is Frida. Welcome to my channel. For today's tutorial, I am going to show you how to knit the easy brioche stitch hat. Yesterday, there's just the previous tutorial I posted on how to knit it, showing on a scarf. So today, I am using circular needles. You don't have to use circular needles because I don't like sewing. But this time I wanted to show you can knit them flat back and forth. That would be no problem at all. So what you need to do is the yarn that before I go ahead, the yarn that I'm using is Bernat Premium. It's a 4-weight yarn, and I think you need about 100 gram. There's 198 gram in this ball of yarn. It's 4-weight. It's suggesting is 5mm knitting needle. So let's get started. I have cast on total of 81 stitches, so there's 81. And then what you need to do is you need to knit about 14 rows of rib, 1 knit, 1 purl. And if you don't know how to join a circular needle, I will show you how to do that. Just be sure to have your needle, your stitches straight, no twisting. That's very important. That's the main thing. If it's twisted, then it will be twisted, and you don't want that. So just be sure to have them all just like this straight. And then what I do is I join with a crisscross, and I will show you. I did show this in my previous tutorials, but I'll show it again. Okay, so what I do is so this is the front. I'm just trying to be sure. What I do is I crisscross. This is what I do. I cross it, so this way there would be no gap between. Just like this. And I just continue knitting. So I knit, purl, knit, purl. So I'm going to let you knit about 14 rows, and I will come back to show you how it looks like, and then we will start the hat. Well, we're starting the hat, but 14 rows later I will come back, and I'll be right back. Before I let you go, put a marker so you have this long tail, right? But if you say, I'll be lost, so just put a marker there, and then when you finish the 14th row, I will come back to show you how to start the hat. The stitch, the easy brioche stitch. Okay, now, so I have knit total of 14 rows. I just finished my 14, and I said cast on 81, but unfortunately with the rib you need 1 extra stitch, so I just added here. Sorry about that. So you need to cast on 82, and just measure your head, so when you put it on your head it should stretch up to 22 inches or over 20 inches. Okay, so now I knit with a 5mm knitting needle. Now I'm going to change my knitting. This is a 6.5, and we're going to start the pattern. Okay, from now we're going to knit total of 4 rows of knit stitch. That's all we're going to do, but on the first knit we're going to increase every 6 stitches. So 2, 3, 4, let's pull this, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm just going to grab, this is another way you can do increases. I'm just going to grab a stitch here because I don't want to do yarn over, and I'm going to knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'll just grab it from here and do my increase and continue knitting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then grab. So continue knitting, total of 4 including this row, and then don't do your increases every 6, and when you come back to the second row, just continue knitting 3 more rows of knit stitch, and I will come back and we are going to start knitting the easy brioche stitch. Sometimes I pronounce it differently. I do apologize. I was watching my yesterday's tutorial and I thought I said something else. It happens when you're taping. Okay, I'll be right back after finishing the total of 4 rows of knit stitch. Okay, I just want to point out, we said we did our increase every 6 stitches, right? So I don't have enough, so nothing to worry about. Just continue making your last increase and then just knit it up. So you don't have to worry about, I said every 6 stitch, but it did not work, so nothing to worry. And then continue knitting 3 more rows and I'll be right back. I have knit my last row, so this is how it will look like. So now we're going to start knitting the easy brioche stitch. Okay, and I will put the link on how I knit in a flat back and forth. But this is on a circular. It's going to be a little bit different. But first, how we start is, okay, the first stitch is going to be a knit stitch. So the first row we're going to knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. So we're going to do the rib, knit 1, purl 1, all the way, and I will come back to show you the second row. Okay, so I have knit 1, purl 1 row, and now I am going to do the easy brioche stitch. So what I'm going to do is for the knit stitch, I'm going to go between here, and then I'm going to just purl regular for this row, knit, purl. So the knit is on the bottom. I don't grab it from here. I grab it right in this middle, and it gives me that nice effect. So this way we create a magical stitch that give us a 3D look. It won't show right away, but the more we knit, it will show up. It will give this nice texture. It will give us this nice texture. Can you see? This is what we're going to be looking for to create this puffiness. Okay, that's the scarf that I did the tutorial, and that's done on straight. So this is done on a circular, and the next row would be different, so I will come to that. So this is all we do, 1 knit, 1 purl, but the knit for this row is going to be in that V. Oh my goodness, I made a mistake. Nothing to worry. Nothing to worry. What I'll do is either I can increase or I can decrease to get rid of 1 stitch. I'm not gonna go and frog it. This will happen, like it does happen. So I put it on my head and I'm going to get rid of 1 of the stitch. So nothing to worry about. Okay, so what I'll do is I will purl these together and I will get rid of 1 of the stitch. Instead of frogging, this is a trick that you can do and you don't have to worry about it. For if you're in a situation like I am, like if you're knitting a hat. So I will finish this row and I will come back and right here, and we will start the 3rd row. So right here. Okay, so I'm on the 3rd row. On this one, what we're going to do is we're going to knit the knit stitch regular, and on the purls, what we're going to do is, I know this is going to be different, but we're going to grab it from here, and then we're going to knit it, purl stitches. And then we create these 2 stitches here to give that brioche look. So we're going to knit the knit stitch. On the purl, we're going to grab it from here. Again, you will see the V. So just go in between. Instead of coming from here, you go it from here. For this row, this is how we're going to knit. Okay, So we're going to continue knitting like this, total of 14 rows. So I'm already doing my third. Sorry, not 14. The rib was 14. Because this is a hat, we're going to knit total of 12 rows of the brioche, the easy brioche stitch. But don't forget, so one row we're gonna purl it this way, and one row we're gonna do the previous one when we knit in between. Okay, so I will meet you when we finish row 12. I just wanted to show you before I let you go and knit. So I'm going to do my last one just like this, and I will knit this regular, and then for this is going to be the 4th row, and you can see the stitches showing what you call it, the the brioche stitch. You will notice that the brioche stitch is becoming. Okay, so I'm going to start knitting the knit stitches this time in the middle, just like this. Knit in the middle, and then this would be a regular purl stitch. Knit in the middle. Okay, and then you just continue doing one row you do the knit, one row you do the purl, for a total of 12 rows, and I'll come back. I have finished the simple brioche, about 12 rows, and included the 4. So there's 16 rows that we need to repeat. The length that we become, I would say about 9 inches, 10 inches, depending on how long you want it. So I'm going to knit, oopsie. So if I knit, I need to knit three times of this 16 stitches, and then I would have the length that I would want. And then at the end we are going to start doing our decrease when we are doing the knit stitches. So I'm going to let you knit. So 4 knit, and then 12 rows, 4 rows of knit, and then 12 rows of the brioche. And don't forget how I showed you, and this gives that fluffiness. Doesn't it look nice? This is what we're looking for this pattern. Okay, so I'm going to let you knit, and I will come back to show you how to do the decrease. I've been knitting, and I tried it on my head, so I think this is enough. I measured. It's about 9 inches, and I just want to have it as a regular hat. So if you want it slouchy, I would recommend you to knit another set of the 4 knit and 12 rows of the brioche stitch. So what I'm going to do is, after I finished my 12 rows of brioche, I knit about 2 rows of just knit stitch, and when I measure it, see, it's almost 8 inches. So the time I finish it, it would be enough. I don't want it slouchy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, we're going to start doing our decrease. Yeah, so let's say you want it slouchy, so knit another set, and then knit 2 rows of knit, and then you can start doing the decrease. But I'm going to do it now because it's big enough for me. It's enough. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start where my beginning is, and I'm going to knit 2 stitches, and then I am going to knit 2 together. So I knit 2 together, so I get rid of 1 stitch. I knit 2 stitches, and I knit 2 together. So I will do this all the way to the end of the row. This is the decrease row. And on the following row, what we're going to do is we're just going to knit. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one row decrease and one row just knit, and then the following third row would be doing a decrease, and then we'll finish it up. So I will finish this and I will come back. Okay, so I have knit and I have did my decrease. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut the yarn and then move the yarn to this and then pull all the stitches together. Okay, this is all you have to do. Pull it all at once and sew it up, and here's your hat. Just like this. Ta-da! Here it is. So I hope you like this tutorial. Just try to sew the top securely. That's why I like to work with circular needles, so you don't have to worry about sewing the side. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Happy knitting!